Check, check, check.
Check.
Can I please have a double shot of tequila and lime?
Taking orders, taking orders.
I want to say thank you to Jordan French, and the Grit Daily crew, and all of our folks from Austin Pro Video. Let's get a round of applause. Thank you guys for joining us here, South by Southwest 2023.
Pleasure being here.
You guys have a couple more panels today, right? And
there's
this is
one
going
more,
to
I
be a
think.
really good conversation, and we'll go to dinner later for all the speakers and folks who are coming to dinner.
Food, drink, all
Food
that
is
good
good. Brisket. I think I gotta definitely get some brisket. When in Austin, right?
stuff. You gotta have some brisket.
Jordan just asked me to interview our good friend here, and I said, you know what, Jordan, I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to do anything I can to support Grit Daily because I'm a big fan of what Grit Daily means for all of us and what the work they're doing. My name is Kwasi Asare. I am the CEO of Fedia. We are a business development and marketing agency. We work closely with Grit Daily on producing media content that is changing the way our culture is being perceived globally. I'm happy to be a friend of Jordan's and proud to say that. I want to introduce our good friend
Jay with
Jay.
Authenticus, CEO of Authenticus. We are out of Houston. Good old hot Houston.
Yeah, no, the weather is pretty amazing, right? It's like 75 or 80 degrees right now. March 10th. Is that normally the way it is
here? We were on the beach
here?
in February.
Is it really? Okay. Is that normal for Austin or?
Oh, yeah. It's you're in Texas now, so yeah.
No, I'm from Philadelphia, so I don't understand sometimes when I go below the Mason-Dixon line how warm it's supposed to be or not. And with the global environment changing in the ecosystem, it's hard to know, like, even how to dress a couple of days in advance.
Hey, we had snow for about a week.
Well, I know also, you guys experienced like a pretty big freeze over a couple years ago, and no one was really prepared for that. Were you here at that time?
Oh, yeah. It shut down the whole city.
And so what was that like? All of a sudden, you're like, oh, it's December. It's supposed to be warm, but everything was cold, and your pipes were free. Tell us about that a little bit.
Oh, man, it was a total disaster.
Can we turn his mic up?
Total disaster. It was, people's pipes, no power. It was chaos for about a couple weeks.
Famously, Ted Cruz somehow had a plane ticket to Mexico that he had to use. Right?
I remember that. Yep. I remember that.
For all our Republican friends in the house. But no, tell us a little bit about your platform and how you ended up here today at Grit Daily House.
Sure. So we are a immersive visualization technology company, and what that means is that we are literally taking technology and using it to recreate an experience for people in an environment. So if you were thinking about building a house, for instance, you could physically walk the house before we ever even started. And you're asking, well, isn't that virtual reality? Well, that's one of the things we're doing, but we're actually letting you physically feel the space before it's ever even built.
Okay. So is this like smell-o-vision? Like what? Like give me because we've all used Matterport, right? We all know what Matterport does, and it gives you a pretty cool representation of what physical space is. What you're talking about is so much further beyond that.
Yes.
So tell me, how do you differentiate from what Matterport does today, and what are the things that are different about your platform?
So Matterport takes you through something that's already been built, and it videos the room and puts it in the 3D model. We're taking what is unbuilt and doing the same thing, only you're physically walking through it and touching it. And so, yeah, go ahead.
So much to unpack there. So step one, I'm projecting a future building, right? Step two, I'm experiencing what it will be like in that building physically.
Yes.
Explain that.
So physically in our studio, which we're expanding right now all over North America, but we have a studio right now, our headquarters in Houston, and you are physically able to mock up the walls, the furniture, every feature that you can think of in a house, and it is quickly mocked up within minutes, and then physically able to walk the space, feel the space, touch the space.
Okay. And talk about the technology part of this. Like, I understand, like, projecting the...
So the projecting's phase one. And then when people want more, that's when we start adding in our augmented reality. And that can be done through we have our own app in the app stores, so you can download that for free. Authenticus AR. Authenticus.
Authenticus.ar.
Think of Spartacus, but Authenticus.
Okay, Authenticus.ar, right?
That's right.
Authenticus
AR, free to download. And what's convenient about that is you can physically walk a house anywhere. Like, we could pull one up right now and walk in it and be in it and looking out the window and seeing everybody. I mean, that's kind of what the AR, that's what augmented does, and a lot of people are very familiar with
augmented. It's
augmented.
not real time, right? It's like a projection.
No. Well, I mean, you're using the technology off the phone. But if you want more, that's when we start. Do you want more? But that's when we get into mixed reality. And so some of the guys out there that understand the virtual reality world, they understand where it's all going with extended reality and all the other scenarios. And so we're using mixed reality headsets. So that's taking virtual reality and overlapping it with real world and seeing them both at the same time. So now it basically looks like a hologram. But you're not just seeing it, you can actually grab it. So just imagine we were standing in this environment and it was all holographically, and then you can grab it and move it.
So what is that
Star
experience?
Trek, yes, we're going Star Trek.
What are you grabbing, like a representation of the digital...
Of the digital theme. Your hand, so essentially how that works is your hand eventually becomes a hologram as well. So when you put your hand into the vision of the glasses, it now becomes a hologram as well. So it allows you to interact with the holograms.
But then is it attached to your nerve endings, or how do you then feel it? Like,
well, it all depends on which environment you're in. If you're in our studio, then you're actually physically touching stuff. If we're here and I put this on you, then we would just be touching a hologram. So that part you'd have to, touch air, for instance.
Wow.
Yep. This is where technology is going, honestly.
Just thinking about this, but I cannot wait to try it.
and we talked about AI, and we actually now have some AI technology ourselves, where we're able to take masking technology. So if you were going to give us a photo of a remodel project, whether it was commercial, remodel, whatever it is, our AI within seconds can read it and then allow you to change every component of that photo. So if you were building a house, for instance, you would be able to change it 1,000 different combinations with real selection. So again, that's one of our other services. Where we're really trying to go with this technology, which is kind of part of the reason why we're here, is healthcare. We're literally taking this a whole nother level into healthcare and recreating mock-up facilities.
So is it then I could project what my body would be like as well, and a doctor could virtually
Actually, that technology exists. They are using that kind of technology now. That mixed reality.
But specifically, what you're talking about is actually mocking up virtual versions of.
I'm in the pre-design stage of any kind of construction. So that's kind of our niche, is that design stage. And so hospitals, for instance, take about 5 to 6 years to design, and they go through a lot of steps to go through that. What we're doing, and we're actually even getting away from projecting, we're actually using all LED. So just imagine everything mocked up in a TV setting, and we're able to recreate everything in live time and then modify things in live time. So that's kind of one of our softwares that we developed as well.
Is that something proprietary to
Yes.
you guys? Okay.
Yeah, we have a couple IPs out there, and we're franchising. So now we are branching out all over North America. So that's kind of why I'm here. We're trying to get a location going here in Austin as well. And
where other locations do you currently have?
So we're getting ready to do our first in Mexico, which will be Monterrey. We got 2 locations in California, San Diego, and just a little south of LA. We got actually near Philadelphia, believe it or not.
Go Eagles. Go Eagles.
And then we got Jacksonville, Chicago, and Cleveland, actually, which I don't know what part of Ohio you grew up.
I guess you grew up in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I'm originally
Cleveland
from Somerset.
is amazing. Cleveland Clinic is a huge healthcare hub for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, anyways.
And so tell us about the stage of your company. It sounds like you guys are pretty well along the way. You have multiple locations. You have IP. I assume you're probably raising money, but tell us a little about the state of the company.
Yeah, we're a couple years in, right? So we've already got it off the ground, and we're starting to roll. We are potentially looking for some seed money to take the healthcare aspect to the next level, because the technology's changing there, right? So we're going from projecting to LED kind of technology, and that's triple the cost. So anyways, we're gonna start putting up mock-up facilities for the healthcare. So that's the part where we're getting ready to start raising capital for.
So talk about a little bit about that transition that you just described, going from 3D to projecting an LED.
Sure.
Drill down on that a little bit for us.
Projecting technology is amazing these days. I mean, you're literally taking multiple projectors, and in our studio, for instance, we have an 8,000 square foot studio. Okay, so just imagine projecting one image on 8,000 square feet, right? But projector technology can do that now, and it's all about edge blending and all the different technologies. Now, I'm not saying we didn't create the technology for the projectors, but our software integrates with that. And so anyways, so we're able to essentially, and we're out of Houston, so mind you, I'm going to say the Astros here, but we were able to have an event where we had the floor as the baseball field, like we were all sitting at Minute Maid Park, and we had a 20-foot by 60-foot projecting screen, one image, of the game live. So we watched the World Series as if it was literally live. So the projecting technology out there is amazing, and there's a lot of different things that you can do with it.
And then the value add that's proprietary. I don't know how much you want to talk about that, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, there's a couple things we're currently working on with immersive 3D interactions, but that's I'll just leave it at that because that's kind of in the works. But essentially, we are getting into
the vault.
into the immersive technology, which, as some of you might have seen, the projecting technology where kids are stomping on the ground and the images interact with that. So that, again, that technology is out there. It's just a matter of how you integrate it. So we decided to use a lot of that different technology for construction purposes. So we are fully in the architect, designer, construction phase. So.
No, what's the best way for folks to learn more about what you guys are building? How can I find you?
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're on social media. We have our website, authenticusservices.com. Come see me after the show. We got cards. Speaking with Grit Daily here. They're a great company that we're going to be looking to get some local PR and get more of our name out there. That's our stage now. We're trying to get our name known. So great company. That's why we're here, and that's why we want to represent them as much as they can help us. So
love it. Well, thank you so much for your time today, brother.
Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.